Skiptito and Bubba React. So today we are looking at impossible ways to play Minecraft by Skip the Tutorial. Let's go. Let's go.
Times smaller, and it's Minecraft, but every block looks the same. And these are 20 impossible ways to play Minecraft. And good luck. Instead of our lakes looking like this mod makes them look like this. And with water and lava switched around like this, the whole scene of the overworld changes. Because now we got a big expanse of death and an occasional puddle of water for relief. Which is a bummer when you're trying to fish, but at least you'll have better luck over in the nether. Because yeah, it's changed over there too. Which is great for us, but unfortunate for the poor straters. In this version, you play Minecraft, but yeah, you can't touch the color green. And while that may sound simple at first, it could mean entire spawn points are completely out of reach. Meaning you'll have to keep refreshing for a desert before you find something worth spawning in. Or if you choose red as the color, then you might be good in the overworld, but the nether's a different story. And if you can't touch the color blue, then you can wave goodbye to those diamonds. And that might just make this the way to turn hardcore mode into a whole nother level. Beating Minecraft without jumping sounds ridiculous, but it's actually possible. See, the way that it works here is that instead of using our regular jump button to climb the mountains that we're used to, we'd instead have to scope out a tree and craft ourselves some stairs and slabs to get up. Which is a lot slower, but at the very least you might be more deliberate about the steps you take. Literally. How do you move without moving? It seems like a stupid question, but in Minecraft it's actually possible. See, as this user found out, if you spawn next to a tree and then craft it into a boat, you can place that down strategically and use that to move yourself without ever using the move keys. And then later you can progress onto water buckets and even a carrot on a stick. So if you're looking to get creative with all the ways that you can move, this might be the best way to do it. And personally, I'd love to see someone use a flying machine in one of these challenges. I think that'd just be great. This is what it's like to spawn in the overworld, and this is what it's like to spawn in the nether. Which obviously is a daunting task right off the bat. But since 1.16, there is some ways for us to get wood and stone, so if you want a basic set of tools, it is possible. And if I were you, I'd take that newly fashioned blackstone pickaxe and put it right to some nether gold ore. Otherwise, your piglin neighbors might not be too happy. But if you're willing to brave through a couple of cycles of bartering and nether fortresses, then you might just be able to get the fire charges and obsidian needed to get yourself right back to the overworld. Just make sure to bring some blaze rods with you so you don't have to come back. Minecraft's typical worlds are 60 million by 60 million blocks, and here it's 16 by 16. And as we'll soon notice, playing with a world border this small quickly becomes a cruel joke. Because if you were to see anything on the other end of that world border, be it a tree, pigs, or even diamonds, there's no chance that you're getting through to get it. Oh, and you can kiss goodbye to beating the game because there's no way that there's an end portal spawning this close to spawn. Especially one that's fully completed. But hey, if you look at what Jaren's been able to do on a 100 by 100 world, it does prove that there is still plenty possible. You're just gonna have to get creative. This user beat Minecraft with nothing, which I've gotta say is the most minimalist challenge that I could possibly think of. But if you're brave enough to try it, both Matthew Bolin and Geosquare prove that it's possible. You're just gonna have to get lucky on how you do it. And frankly, I draw the line at using the Ender Dragon's knockback to get up on the end crystals. It's no doubt cool, but it's way above my wheelhouse. And if that wasn't enough, we might have to pick up the pace, because our hunger bar is already depleting, and there's no way we're filling that up. In this challenge, we spawn with only a half a heart to our health bar, and that means we can't take any damage ever, or we lose. And all of a sudden, everything becomes so much more intimidating in the game. Whether that's falling from a tiny ledge, bumping into a sweetberry bush, or even getting spit on from a llama, all of those could end your run. Oh, and even though you don't regen, you'll want to keep your hunger bar on the top. Otherwise, starvation could lead to serious devastation. But if you manage to craft yourself a shield and some proper armor, you might just have the path for survival. Just get used to seeing this respawn screen. I get a feeling you'll be seeing a lot of it. In this super rare seed, you spawn inside an underground lava pool, which happens due to a glitch that messes with the game. And since you spawn in here, you'll notice that there's nowhere in sight to get out. So we're just gonna have to resort to mining stone with our hands, which obviously isn't ideal, but it's about the only thing keeping us from being a medium rare Steve. And so far, everyone who's played this seed has said it's not only unplayable, but also impossible. And while that seems true so far, maybe you'll be the one to prove them wrong. Did you know that there's a mode that's even more difficult than hardcore? Because apparently, beating the game in adventure mode is a real challenge in and of itself. So even though we're able to respawn like we can in survival, the major downside is that we can't place or destroy any blocks. So we're quickly limited to the things that we can do, such as kill creatures, trade, eat, and craft. But as RecRap proved, if you have a couple of creepers handy, you might just be able to get them to do the mining for you. Though since you're not able to place any of the Eyes of Ender into the end portal frames in this mode, it seems we're out of luck. But hey, if you can spawn in one of those 1 in a trillion worlds with a completed end portal, then all that's left is to find the stronghold and defeat Fortnite. I mean, the Ender Dragon. But actually, folks, we the the Minecraft community are gaining serious ground on Fortnite, and the fact that we've gained over double the amount of subscribers as them in the last 30 days can prove that. So if you haven't already, join the movement to prove that Fortnite fans are wrong and Minecraft is still the best game out there. And hey, let's keep winning this war. What do you get when you diamonds and 2 sticks together? That's right, a block of dirt. Or at least that's how it is in this game, because here it's Minecraft but crafting recipes are randomized, which offers us a huge disadvantage when you don't know what's going to give you what,
didn't even
which could be
touch
great,
it.
or usually it just ends up being weird. And at the very least, I'd say try to turn on your recipe book before you take this on. Otherwise, it'll be a whole other challenge trying to remember what crafts into what. In this challenge from Wadsy, you can only move in a straight line, and that means no moving right or left or anything, just forwards and backwards, which seems simple enough until what you want is just right out of reach. So if those diamonds happen to fall just a pixel outside of your hitbox, yeah, they're as good as gone. So at the very least, I'd recommend trying this with a water bucket as soon as possible, because with that, you can at least push the things closer to you. Or if you're looking to grab some food without chasing, then you might want to grab some seeds from the ground before you try to get that chicken over to you. This is survival mode, this is creative mode, and this is sideways mode. In this 1.12 mod, the user spawns into a sideways world. And if you're up to the challenge, you might want to brush up on your parkour, because this involves a lot of falling, which seems casual enough at first, but if you make one mistake, you might end up falling a lot farther than you bargained for. And hey, if you want an even crazier challenge, you can always use this mod to try and spawn into an upside down world as well. Just make sure you spawn in a forest. Alright, let's do a pop quiz. Which one of these is grass and which one is diamonds? Well, you're wrong, because they're both cobblestone. And here, every texture looks the exact same in Minecraft, meaning that until you put it in your inventory, their true identity remains a secret. Or you could try to be sneaky and use the F3 debug menu, but that's not as much of an option for those on Bedrock. And honestly, just imagine branch mining with one of these. How many diamonds do you pass by before you finally hit some? So unless you're lucky enough to get yourself a few buried treasure maps, getting any kind of real armor in this is gonna be a hassle. In this mod, you play as a fish, but this time you're a fish that's gonna be the Ender Dragon, which with 1.5 hearts and the need to stay hydrated, patience will be the key to success. And for one, if you're looking to beat the game, you're gonna have to find some way to get water into the nether. But if you bring a cauldron and a bucket, you might just be one step closer to beating the game and seeing the credits. And at the very least, seeing a dragon fight a salmon is gonna be something worth watching. I would not go near this chicken if I were you, because even if it might seem nice from a glance, in this mod, all peaceful mobs will attack on sight. And this time, we're not safe in the overworld whether it's nighttime or daytime. And while some of the bigger mobs like sheep and cows are easy to see coming, the literal killer bunnies that walk around might be a little bit more discreet. But hey, when you gotta fight for your food, it'll at least feel more worthwhile than just taking it. In survival mode, the goal is to survive, but here, it's the exact opposite. And in this pack by Mr. Makenstein, even though we have a plethora of different ways to die in the game, none of them are gonna work out. Or so it seems. And here, the challenge is that you'll have to go through each and every one to find out which one finally allows you to die. Because if the water floaties keep you from drowning, the propeller hat keeps you from falling, and even the cactuses shrink when you get close, it's gonna take a lot of trial and error. And if you want to do this with some friends, then you can make it a race to get to first blood. Now, on first glance, you might not be able to see me, but zoom right in, you can see that this mod makes us super short, which seems like a plus, but consider the downsides. Since with our new height, we cover less ground, can't jump over blocks, and falling off of one is like falling off of a house. And since we're so slow compared to the other mobs, food is a hassle to obtain. But if you wanted to be Ant-Man with none of the upside and all the downside, then I guess this is the challenge for you. Minecraft's gravity makes no sense, but what if it did? Well, at first, it's pretty funny to see all of the trees drop their leaves like so, but as soon as you enter the underground, this can quickly become a nightmare. And all of a sudden, that lush cave just seems like a nicely decorated tomb. And as soon as you get to the nether, it doesn't get much easier, since that roof that you spawn under just falls right on top of you. But say you manage to get past all of that. Once you reach the end, those islands are floating over the void, so it's not gonna be too forgiving. And with that, folks, have a good one, alright?
So that was Impossible Ways to Play Minecraft by Skip the Tutorial. Right, so that was good. See you next time on Dylan Baba Reacts. Check out my adventure channel, Dylan's Wolf Adventures. We'll see you next time. Bye.